Three. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Welcome to Kitchen 143. I am your host, Michelle Aventajado, your resident mama in Manila, and tonight we are out and about in Arya Plaza in BGC. It's a cool and breezy evening this evening on Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us. I am so excited to be visiting yet another coffee to cocktails resto, just a stone's throw from my home. This time that serves up gourmet comfort food to please any palate. As always, we are live on the Rappler Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. We're also live on Rappler.com. And of course, if you're watching from my Facebook page, Mama and Manila, be sure to leave any comments or things you want to chat about so that we can make sure to chat about those things as well. Joining me today here at Apartment 1B is Chef Nikko Roa and of course barista Jay Ross Roldan. Hi, gentlemen.
Hi, good evening.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Right? So I'm so glad that I got to see, the Apartment 1B is here in Arya Plaza.
Yeah.
Super easy to park.
Yes, that's correct.
Right? So for those of you that know BGC, parking is not always easy. So if you want to visit Apartment 1B or even have a coffee here at Jay's Way, it's very easy to get to, very easy to park, and it's so breezy tonight.
We're lucky enough,
and
yes.
windy.
What a beautiful evening.
It's
the
nice to have some boost.
Right? And the weather is great. Well, you said it. We did say it was coffee to cocktails, and this cocktail actually is a cocktail
It's
with
a coffee cocktail.
We're actually having two cocktails. One is from Jay's Way, and one is for Apartment 1.
Okay, why don't you tell us first then about the sangria?
Okay, actually sangria is one of our best sellers. So this sangria, we will offer this on our special menu, upcoming menu, which is the happy hour, and we will be selling this for $8.99, unlimited sangria, all night.
Unlimited.
Yes.
And this is from what time to what time?
This is from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. That can still be extended depending on the
Whoa, that sounds fun. Definitely someplace you can come and have cocktails, of course. But, Chef, I know we're going to talk about comfort food and, gourmet comfort food that really speaks to your soul. Because actually, we know cult followers of Apartment 1B know that Chef Marivic had comfort in mind when she opened that first restaurant in 2006.
That's right.
But I actually came across you guys here because my friend Kai, we are referral partners in BNI, and he was telling me about his coffee, and we said we were going to meet up and just chat a little bit, and he talked about Jay's Way.
Yep.
So, Jay, tell me how you and Kai hooked up, and because it wasn't here in the Philippines.
Yeah, we weren't here in the Philippines. I used to work in Singapore for a decade, started 2008. And then I started to learn coffee and all that. And that's why the Jay's Way called Jay's Way, because it actually stands for Jay's Way Home.
Jay's Way Home.
Yeah, so we plan to go back home, and we started 5 years ago now.
Well, okay, so tell us about this cocktail that we have now, because I do want to talk about a little bit more about coffee. We've done a couple of different episodes on coffee with you guys, so I'm sure you know the difference already between single origin and blends. So cheers.
Cheers. So
I promise I'm not going to drink this all, guys, otherwise I won't make it to the end of the episode. So tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is espresso martini. I would rather call it latte martini because I put a dash of milk in it. And it has espresso, double shot, and also a vodka.
So it picks you up and makes you happy in two different ways.
In two different ways. It's like pulling you from different sides. But
yummy.
it has more sweet inside on this kind of cocktail because we
Yeah.
try not to balance it, not overpower of too much bolder or bitterness in it.
It is very well balanced.
Yeah,
And I
yes.
think you would actually understand very well the difference between balancing the booze and balancing
Right.
the coffee because you were also a mixologist.
Yeah, so I used to work as a bartender in Singapore before I became a barista.
So you and Kai met in Singapore.
Yes, yes.
And at that point, Kai couldn't appreciate coffee the way you could, right?
Yeah, at first he was like, okay.
He was like me, drinking coffee for the caffeine.
Same.
Yeah.
So he was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, this is our coffee, specialty coffee. And then we want to go back home because we want to support local farmers, local baristas, and
Yeah.
also to serve our countrymen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love. Looks like we have some of the food coming out. So before we go on to the beans and the countrymen and the proudly Pinoy reason why you guys came home, I want to talk about the food that we have coming out. So, Chef, I know these samosas are very different than others. And they're actually, thank you. These samosas are different than others. They're baked, first of all. They're not fried.
They're not fried, yes.
Okay, and the filling usually, so for those of you that enjoy samosas, you know that samosas have a lot of cumin, a lot of spices. And it's usually potatoes and
Yes.
peas. But this version,
It's different, but this is our version of samosas. So basically, samosas are triangular shaped, savory dish that usually have strong flavors, as you
Yeah.
mentioned. So for this particular dish, our version is our pastry is filled with cream cheese, garlic, spinach, and mushrooms.
super comforting. So I love these. And then tell us about the salad.
That's our blue cheese and walnut salad. We actually call that our house salad. I love this salad because of its simplicity. It only has 3 ingredients: blue cheese, walnuts, and grapes. Of course, the dressing,
Yes.
which is strawberry vinaigrette, and the
Yes.
greens. If you mix it all, and if you eat it, you'll have a different
It's like a
Bite.
perfect bite, right?
perfect bite.
It's perfect bite or perfect subo when
Yeah.
you're eating salad because you
Yes.
get the glazed walnuts, the pungent blue cheese,
and
the tangy vinaigrette, and of course the fresh greens.
Yes.
So super yum. Will you guys have a bite with me? I'm
Right,
gonna just
sure,
take
sure.
one little bite of
So,
the
yeah, just-
samosas.
I'll just mix it for you and then.
Okay. Jay, so tell us, proudly Pinoy, it was Jay's way home when you guys decided that, you and Kai were talking and
Yeah.
you said, let's go home. It was always the plan to come home. I mean, isn't that always the plan? You go away and then somehow your roots always find you, bringing yourself back home here.
Yeah. Right. So when I was in abroad working there as a barista, I was wondering why we don't have our local beans
Yeah.
using there in other
Thank you.
countries,
Just
and
a
then
bit.
it's always that we have foreign beans on our hopper in what we are serving in other countries. And then I tried to ask myself, why is it? Is there any problem?
Yeah.
Is there,
Like what's
is
going
there-
on back home? Why
Correct.
can't we? Yeah.
So I tried to go
Thank you.
back, and then when I went to different farms in the Philippines, and then I tried their coffee, and then I found out that it's very, very good quality, and you can actually compete with other beans abroad. And then I started to roast my own beans, and also to provide beans for few clients in the Philippines. Right?
So when you came home, that's when you decided to open Jay's Way as well, featuring really
yeah.
Filipino beans.
Right.
So these are Arabica beans.
Yeah, it is Arabica for specialty coffee. We are using Arabica pure, and we are using also local coffee and also foreign beans for us to compare why we are serving coffee beans from our Philippines.
Right. one recurrent theme that I'm seeing, not just obviously with baristas, with you tonight,
Yeah.
but with some of the other chefs that even have worked abroad as well. We had Chef Ellie,
Yeah.
who worked abroad for a long time in Canada. We have
Yeah.
Chef Rob, who obviously is very, he loves using local ingredients. He
Yeah.
has his own salt that he is cultivating in Pangasinan.
Wow, yeah. It's true.
What I am seeing, as this undercurrent among individuals in the food and beverage industry is, we can compete.
Yeah.
We have the products, we have the ingenuity. I think in this case, the coffee farmers just need to be nurtured or maybe
Located or something.
not even subsidized, but I think with the coffee that's being grown, even the cacao, because that's
Right.
what Chef Ellie was talking about. And I think coffee and cacao have similar
Oh, yeah. Almost.
climates that they grow in. Like, we can really compete. Some of the best cacao comes out of the Philippines. So why not
Why
the
not
best coffee, right?
Yeah.
When you look at those beans, I mean, we were talking about some of the beans when we were together before. You serve beans from Benguet, from
Sultan Kudarat, Mount Apo, those beans from high altitude farm in the Philippines, and yeah, tasting good as well.
And, obviously, so for those of us that don't understand coffee this way,
Yeah.
there is a coffee culture. Oh, we're ready for a pour over already. Wait, let's get it on cam. Okay, go ahead. So we're pouring over because you can absolutely enjoy coffee with your food.
Yes, that's true.
Right? So this is something you can enjoy as well. Did you guys know this?
As you
and
can
we would-
see,
yeah,
it
tell
is
us
served
about
in wine glass for us to get the aroma.
this. So smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
And
also,
also the profile out of it.
it signifies that coffee also has its own tasting
It
notes.
tastes like wine actually.
So you can taste coffee like wine.
Yeah. So correct. So because we didn't roast it too dark, it's just right. I mean light to medium roast for us to get the characters.
So you roasted this?
Yes.
These beans are beans you roasted.
I roast, yeah, and get it direct from the farm.
Fantastic.
So this one is Mount Apo.
And it's a pour over.
Yeah, it's a pour over. Shout out to our farmer called Ma'am Marivic. Ma'am Marites. This is anaerobic. As you can taste, it has fermented taste. Cranberry, juicy, fruity, winey.
It's so clean tasting.
Yeah, so because we are using pour over, especially the V60, when you use that kind of process, it produces clear taste to your cup.
And so this Mount Apo
Yeah.
is being served with
With our pizza right there, chef.
Pizzetta, we call it pizzetta,
Yeah.
and then our pasta.
Right.
I think it also goes well with the burger because of the flavor.
Yeah, so something like wine, it goes well with meat.
this goes well with
This one
meat
goes
also.
well.
So we have this pizzetta, and then we also have the
The
vongole, right? And I think we also have another meat dish that goes well with the coffee.
Yeah.
Which is our best-selling sandwich, our beef burger.
Okay. All right, let me show you guys. I see some melty cheese. I don't know if you can see. I'd love to cut it in half, but that's a great burger, guys. I'll just let you know the simplicity of this burger. You don't need anything when you have really good meat. Salt and pepper, and that's it, your
That's
ground
it.
meat. Simple. Tell us about the layers.
Okay, as you said, it's basically straightforward. It's just beef, pure Angus beef, salt and pepper. You just mixed it with our homemade caramelized onions, our homemade pickles made out of cucumbers, and some slices of fresh tomatoes, lettuce, and that's it. Mozzarella cheese.
I love that you make your own pickles. Can you bring the samosas down so that we'll just put everything. So we have everything on the table for everyone to see. This pizza is
that's our
pizzetta.
yes. Our version of pizza is called pizzetta. So basically, it's called pizzetta because of its thin crust. So that's what's unique about it. It's actually the crust, and of course the cheese that we use, the quality of cheese that we use, the flavors that we chose to make it flavorful, like the sautéed mushrooms, mixed onions.
Right.
This has anchovies to give it a different...
A little bit of bite. There's a little bit of depth there. So this pizzetta is actually one of our favorites. Thank you. I love the caramelized onions. It's super sweet. The mushrooms obviously give the earthy flavor, and the arugula, little peppery bite.
Peppery and bitter taste.
Yeah, but you know what? I think as a New Yorker, my pizza has to be able to hold, right? And this obviously, it's a thin crust pizza. It's super thin, and it does so well. Chef, can I serve you?
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna have a bite also because this is one of my faves. Sure. Jay, would you like?
Sure, yeah.
So the kids love this, but it's also a little bit, you know, kids go for, my kids, I think, are a little bit more, Miguel loved this one because of the different, this specifically one, because of the different layers of flavor. Yeah. So we were talking earlier about the different kinds of coffee that you can serve, and I know that you guys have the full gamut here that you can serve for coffee, right?
Yeah.
But Chef, tell us more about Apartment 1B. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this brand, it's been around since 2006. The Arya is the newest location. This Arya Plaza is the newest location, just opening in April recently. And, you know, it really does have this cult following. People who love Apartment 1B come for the same comforting dishes.
Yes.
Day in and day out, right? So they'll look for the vongole, they'll look for the samosas, the pizza. Tell us about why you chose these, and about Chef Marivic and what she imagined people to enjoy when they come.
So Apartment 1B is founded by Chef Marivic in 2006. So the reason why I chose this line of menu tonight is, of course, to honor the legacy and the creation of my boss, my mentor, Chef Marivic. All of these dishes are on the menu since we opened in 2006.
Okay.
I was not part of the team yet back then. I just joined in 2021.
Where were you before?
I used to work for hotels like Mandarin and Richmond.
Right.
And then I worked with Wholesome Table also as an opening sous chef in 2014.
Okay.
And then I joined Manila Polo Club as the executive chef. That's where I met Chef Marivic.
Okay.
She was a part of the F&B committee and I was the executive chef at that time. So we worked together hand in hand.
Right.
In creating menus. And then she kind of mentored me. And I fell in love with how she is passionate about her food.
Right.
That's why when pandemic
put that down on that side
happened, and the company that I was working for struggled.
Yeah.
Chef Marivic offered me a position in her company, and I accepted it. So that's
so since then, obviously these dishes, have they changed at all since you joined the team?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Since 2006.
Yeah, I just get a little bit. I'll tell you guys also about the pasta. The vongole, you said, is one of the crowd favorites.
Always a crowd favorite, yes.
And it is. I think, you know, my husband loves vongole. When we go to any restaurant, if vongole is on the menu, my husband will order vongole. My mom will order vongole. My dad usually goes for a tomato-based. But I like that this one just has a little bit of kick.
Yes, because of, I think, the chili flakes.
Yeah.
But I think the secret of this dish is the stock that we use.
Okay.
The clam stock.
Okay.
So if you don't have that, we will just make it 86 on the menu.
Okay.
Because we need everything, everything in the menu should follow its recipe.
Okay. No, I'm good. I'm still gonna. Okay.
So these comfort dishes, Arya is the newest.
Yes, we actually have 4 branches.
That's,
we have 4
tell us about
branches as
the
of the
branch.
moment. So, of course, Salcedo, which is the flagship branch, is still open.
And that was
then-
the first.
First, yes. Actually, it's still the strongest. Not in terms of the volume of sales, but it is our smallest restaurant, but it's always full, especially during lunchtime. So we also
And
have...
Salcedo is very residential, right? I mean, I'm not sure where that branch is, but Salcedo, so you really have residents in the area who come down for lunch.
Yes,
and
that's our following since forever.
Right.
But of course, the office crowd.
Okay.
Because our meals, I think, are affordable.
Yeah.
And it's good for sharing, as you can see. Almost all of our dishes are good for sharing. Later, you can see the main course.
That's huge.
It's good for sharing. And then, yeah, actually, there's a story behind Apartment 1B's name.
Okay.
So if you may want to ask why is it called Apartment 1B.
Why is it called Apartment 1B?
There's 2 versions of the story.
Okay.
This one, okay, I will not mention who. So the first story is simply just because the first branch is at Unit 1B, ground floor Unit 1B.
Okay.
And then the other version is Miss Chef Marivic's husband's name is Bobby. So the other version is it's because of it's one and only Bobby. So that's one and only Bobby.
Aw,
So
I
that's
think
the
that's
version.
so sweet. I like that
there's 2
version the
versions.
best.
So it's up to you to guess whose version is.
I would guess Bobby's or Mary Vic's version.
So here's the story behind the name, but according to Chef Mary Vic, it's because of its Unit 1.
Yeah. Of course, I think that's funny. Okay, so we did mention that the portions are big enough to share. They're generous, and this was one of our favorites as well. So Nino really enjoyed this dish.
Grilled mango chicken.
Yeah. So tell us about this dish and the beauty behind it.
Okay, grilled mango chicken actually is one of the latest. This is the only dish for tonight that is not part of the opening menu.
Okay.
This dish is special because when my boss got sick,
Okay.
so she wanted to offer something that can be beneficial to health.
Okay.
And as we all know, mangoes are used to decrease inflammatory. So she told our executive sous chef to come up with something with mangoes. So he came up with this grilled mango chicken. So basically, it's just pureed mangoes with some spices, some seasonings, and then you just simmer the mango with the sauce, and then grill it to finish. That's it.
Fantastic. And it's lean because it's grilled and it's chicken, so of course it's better for you than red meat. But now we have another, it looks like we have another pour over being served with it.
So that is a Guatemala Misty Mountain.
Okay, so this is not Pinoy.
Yeah, it's not Pinoy.
Guatemala.
But the taste is same. It's still winey. It's still fruity. It has a berry, cranberry profile.
You can see,
Yeah, it is light. All right. So when you drink it, you have to at least chew a little bit so you imagine those fruits that you're eating, especially when you were a kid.
This is lighter. I feel like this is lighter than this one.
It's good with meat as well.
Meat.
Did you guys know you could drink coffee like wine? Okay, before we go any further, I know that you and Chef Nikko, Apartment 1B and Jay's Way, this partnership is definitely a match made in heaven. But for our viewers, you have put together something really special, and for them as well. So if they're watching, you guys know that there are 5 sets where you can come in and join and enjoy not just the gourmet comfort food, but of course even the coffee that Jay's Way provides. Tell us about what they're going to win if they are lucky enough to be chosen?
Basically, this is all that they will get.
Okay.
Oh, not all, of course.
No,
but,
they get a choice
These are the
of-
choices, yes.
Yeah.
For
So
the
they'll get a choice of an app,
appetizer,
an
entree,
entree,
dessert, and cocktail.
and a
Of
cocktail.
course, to finish it off. You need a
Wow, so wonderful. So obviously, guys, you can come in with your beshi, your date, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever you wanted to come in with, because these portions are so generous. You can definitely share and enjoy the gourmet comfort food as well.
Right.
So there will be 5 sets of winners, right? So 5 winners will enjoy a full meal. You guys can come and steal away for hashtag date night, right? So, okay, so we've had Mount Apo pour over, we've had a Guatemalan pour over, we've had, so this is the newest dish. You would say this is the newest dish
Yes.
that we're showcasing tonight, which is the grilled mango chicken. But there's other things. Oh, we have another one out already. I didn't
Our
even
classic
see it.
meatloaf.
This one was my favorite. I don't know about anyone else, but I know Nino and I love, it's not often you find a restaurant
Who offers meatloaf?
that
True.
serves meatloaf.
Yes.
So, and this one is a little bit different also, because there was a spice in here that I tasted that just made it pop for me. You don't have to give it away, but tell us about the dish.
Okay, basically that meatloaf, it's like that since they opened and offered it. So the secret about that meatloaf is correct amount and quantity of the ground pork and the ground beef plus the ground bacon plus
Yeah.
the herbs and spices that you mix in
Yeah.
and the process that you have to they call it tak-tak.
Tak.
Yes.
So it's like
On the
tak is
pan?
settling it.
Yes. On
right?
the pan you have to
It's
get that perfect texture. Otherwise-
so that's kind of like my meatballs. When I make my meatballs, you kind of have to break down the meat a little bit when you so did you guys know this? When I make meatballs, I kind of throw it like really hard
Yeah.
to kind of break down a little bit I don't know what the technical term is, but I realized it's much better to throw it than it is to roll it. So that tak of bringing it down would obviously impact
Yeah.
Yes, that's
I
true.
guess the denseness of the meatloaf, right?
Yep.
And this meatloaf is comfort. When we talk about comfort dishes, one of the things that I was telling Chef Nikko when we were trying some of the dishes out, he was sharing what we were going to be sharing with all of you guys while you're watching. One thing I said was all of these dishes are dishes I grew up with, from the meatloaf and the gravy and the mashed potatoes
Pork
and
chops.
buttered vegetables to the pork chops,
Pork chops.
which, I mean, there's nothing screams comfort more than grilled pork chops and applesauce.
Yes.
Right? So tell us about what we have here. I love also that everything is served with a nice amount of vegetables.
And mashed potato, yeah.
Yeah.
For the pork chops, one of our most straightforward dish. Pork chops rubbed with mustard, salt, and pepper, and that's it. You just grill it, serve it with applesauce, eat it all together with the mashed potatoes and the vegetables. Comfort.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing that maybe some people might miss, right? Is that comfort food can be so simple if the ingredients are super high quality, right? So we're talking about the burgers, it's just salt and pepper. We're talking about the meatloaf, it's like the right ratio of pork and beef. And then even the pork chops, you know, you're saying it's just mustard, salt and pepper, and
Throw it on the
that's
grill,
it.
and that's it. Of course, you
And-
have to cook in the right temperature
Right.
that don't get it overcooked.
Right. Right, which some people can do, obviously. It's not always easy to do, especially if you're managing so many things, but you don't even have to worry about that if you were gonna come down to Arya Plaza here for apartment 1B gourmet comfort food. Okay, so we have cocktails, we have comfort food. There is, you know, I know we stay in one Surrendra, which, I've mentioned before to the viewers. But there's also, you guys have entertainment at night, on some nights.
Some nights.
Right? So that's Thursday, Friday. Guys, you can see we're really outside. I don't know if you can hear the jeepneys going by. I don't know if you can hear the water features. It's really so relaxing, though. I mean, cars aside, I'm not even bothered by it because it's so breezy here tonight, and it's cool. So tell us about music and other things that we can do, and how even, we didn't even mention the interiors are different here.
Okay, let's start with the interiors. As you can notice, we have two different types of interiors that we chose.
Yeah.
For the outdoor and indoor. So for the outdoor, it's red and white. Basically, it's apartment 1B's color since we started.
Signature.
But if you can notice, if you can see it inside, it's green. So the reason for that is for this specific branch, we are actually launching or introducing a new concept, which is a healthier substitute for comfort food.
Yeah.
That we'll be launching sometime this year, maybe in fourth quarter of this year.
Yeah.
So we will actually launch a meal subscription, which is one of its kind.
And this is called Kitchen 1B.
Kitchen 1B, yes. Our brand will be called Kitchen 1B.
Yeah.
Chef Marivic actually opened Kitchen 1B back in the years, I think in 2014. But we are relaunching it here, this branch.
Yeah. So it's coming back.
Yes,
take a little
with a different approach.
Yeah.
And also, we are for this branch only, we are partnered with investors and partners who will be helping us with this new project. So one of them is life science. So that can be discussed in the future. But
so for those of you that aren't familiar with life science, it's a holistic clinic. They practice integrative medicine, very much tuning into the body as a whole. So you're not going to go to a doctor in life science and they're going to give you a prescription. They're going to actually ask you, what your lifestyle is like, how much sleep you get, what's your preferred diet, how much coffee you drink, how much alcohol you drink. Like, they'll give you the whole gamut of, I guess, like zooming out to see where you can address your health in a much more holistic way. And I think, me as a mother, I appreciate that as well. And as someone who's also, a woman who's almost approaching 50, I can appreciate that as well too. So the comforting dishes, the green interiors, you also have
entertainment.
Private, the entertainment, but then private dining upstairs, right?
At the second floor, yes, we have private dining, and we call it the Cove. So you can also rent our second floor as a whole, but it can hold up to 60 packs at our second floor. So
it's nice and quiet, spacious as well. It's actually really a great location. Nino and I were chatting, and we've been waiting for someone to bring back Tita Tuesdays.
Yes, I think.
So we've been waiting for that. So it's actually a perfect location for this, especially because the parking is so convenient. Again, I stress parking because we are in BGC, and whenever you invite anyone to BGC, they're always asking, like, where am I going to park? Okay, now we do have, I'm going to just tip this up while you do that, Chef.
That's actually my personal favorite.
Okay,
apartment
so
1B.
You can tell us about this while Chef is adding the hollandaise.
That's our famous Eggs Benedict with smoked salmon. So what makes it special is, of course, the English muffin. But more than anything else, it's the quality of the hollandaise, the procedure, the ingredients that we use to make that hollandaise.
Right. So obviously, guys, when I opened, my opening spiel was coffee to cocktails, and it really is. So you can come and enjoy brunch dishes. You can come and enjoy, of course, a great cup of coffee at Jay's Way. You can have brunch, lunch, merienda with your kids, the pizzetta, and the pasta, of course. And then, of course, a really hearty meal that provides comfort. There's, you have something for everyone, I think.
Yes.
Right? Tell me about the menu that you added right? Because I know these are all the staples that Chef Mary Vic created. What are
Yes.
some of the other dishes that you
Okay.
created?
For the Kitchen 1B menu, it's actually all, I created all the menu for Kitchen 1B.
Okay.
Partnered, of course, with nutritionists and our very own, who's also a partner, and wellness chef and wellness coach, Miss Cynthia Niguez. So
Okay.
we'll be launching that menu this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for that. Will you have us back for that? I'd like
course,
to
of
learn
course.
more about that as well.
We'll be honored
I
to
feel
have
like
you, of
that's
course.
like right up my alley.
Yes.
So, of course, when we're talking about good food, we know it's quality ingredients, things you can count on. Apartment 1B. I know the people who follow 1B, the customers, your diners who come back, your clients who come back again and again and again, love the dishes for the consistency, the quality, and of course the comfort that it provides for everyone.
It's true.
I want to dig into those eggs Benedict. We talked about eggs Benedict when we were together last time, and there's a perfect combination of eggs Benedict, and I actually want to just cut into it and see. Let's see if we can do this for you guys so you can see. I just have so many drinks in front of me. I have to move them a little so that I can share. I'm gonna cut using my... I didn't use these. Okay, we'll get new ones. Great.
So we can.
Because I just want to show you guys, when you order eggs Benedict, the egg has to be perfect. There has to be a perfect crunch to your muffin, your protein. No, thank you. I want to keep this. I'm going to go back to it. No, I just want to show it. I'll dig into it later. I just need a knife and a fork because, guys, I want to show you when an egg is poached perfectly what your eggs Benedict should look like. Thank you. Because there is no reason why you should have eggs Benedict and it's not done
Yes.
so perfectly. Like, look at that smashing egg yolk, guys. This is really what you want.
So if it doesn't come out that way, you'll have to return it in
Yes,
the kitchen.
you return it, right? So, Chef, this has been so perfect. Obviously, coffee to cocktails. Do we have a dessert coming out? I think this is it, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
And just a dessert.
There's a dessert.
Okay, there is a dessert.
Sure.
There
And
is.
it can also go with a coffee.
A coffee! Okay. So far we've had comforting dishes from pork chops to meatloaf to grilled chicken, which is of course on the healthier side. All kind of reminiscent of what Chef Mary Vic really wanted when she first opened Apartment 1B. I know there's lots of things coming, right? So we talked about the other locations, Salcedo, Henry,
Henry, Batangas, and Pasay.
Yes.
And Salcedo. And next month we'll be opening one new small restaurant.
Okay.
It's a mix of cafe and Apartment 1B restaurant inside Arthur Land's building in BGC.
So that's just here in BGC.
Walking distance.
So you guys can also visit there. You can walk over if you want. Just right around the corner.
Beside
But-
Shangri-La.
Right beside Shangri-La.
The beautiful building beside Shangri-La. That's Arthur Land. So we'll be opening at the 6th floor. So it's open for public. So it's a different approach because it's a cafe / Apartment 1B.
Fantastic. And so, of course, I'm sure the employees in Arthur Land as well can take advantage.
Of course.
Healthier gourmet food as well. Oh, this is so pretty. Let's just show them the flower. So obviously, desserts should look pretty,
Colorful.
colorful, and of course taste yummy as well. Tell us what we're serving.
That's our famous white Toblerone cheesecake. That's how it was made in 2006. That's how it's being made today. Even
White.
the plating and everything, except for the plate, of course. But it's just how we used to make it over the years.
It's so pretty. And are the flowers edible?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Right, guys, so that you should know that any time the flowers obviously or whatever is on the plate should be
Edible, of course.
edible, right? So I'm gonna move that over. We have another cup of coffee. Jay, tell us about this coffee that is served with the Toblerone.
Yeah, so that is a long black. We serve it with the dessert because it's really the taste pair with the dessert really well. The profile of this coffee is more on dark chocolate side, bolder dried fruits and prune. And if you try it with one slice of cake that we are going to do now,
Okay.
and then drink it with
A little sip.
Okay.
you will find it's amazing.
Well,
Magic.
so I know it's magic. I know we were also talking about the differences, like where coffee is made, what it's called, the process, like long black versus Americano versus, right? Tell us about that, because I think that's something that was really interesting when we were chatting before.
Correct. So there are actually few ways of making a black coffee. There'll be espresso base, pour over, but significantly for coffee black, like espresso, there are two types of coffee that we can order. One is Americano and one is long black.
Okay.
The only difference between these two are the process of making it.
You
So
wanna keep
for Americano, we use
Thank you.
we put water, hot water first, around 94 degrees Celsius.
Right. So water first.
For the Americano, we put espresso first.
Okay.
And then water, 94 degrees Celsius. And while for the long black, it's lesser water, and then
the espresso.
on top.
Okay. So I never realized that there was a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew
Most
they had
people do.
different. Yeah, right. And so obviously different places, but this Americana loves both the Americano and the long black. So I like both. But I actually really love my Pinoy boy. So,
Right. So, what can you say about this coffee?
I think this is a great cup. This is something I could enjoy in the morning. I'm not so sure I'll be able to sleep tonight.
You just have to finish the
But
cocktails.
we'll just have to drink the sangria, the endless sangria. This is delicious. I really like
I
this.
think this is my personal.
It is sweet. It
For
has
tonight.
natural sweetness.
Okay, so
Alcohol.
I'm taking a sip and then I'll take a bite of the white Toblerone cheesecake.
Or you do
Let's see that magic if it's.
Yeah.
You want that? Okay.
Yeah, please.
I just got a big chunk of Toblerone. Yum. I like the balance. So actually I started drinking my coffee black as I got older.
Me too.
Because, well, in my head, I didn't want to put the milk and the sugar in
Which is
the
good.
coffee. I would just have the coffee with a dessert instead.
Right, it's better.
So I would rather keep the calories in my dessert than
Yeah.
put them in my coffee. So you can still, Jay, I'll be back so that you can teach me more about how to taste the different notes in the coffee and the
You will
different
have
layers.
I think
So
you
we
need
can do
someone to
that.
explain so that you can imagine the flavors.
Yeah.
You need someone like Jay
Yeah.
explaining the notes and the flavors for you to appreciate it more. That's for me, that's for me.
Yeah, agree. It makes a difference. I
So if you
mean,
drink it on your own,
yeah.
you'll never...
Because at first time,
I'll just be like, oh, it tastes good.
first time you try the coffee, right, you will just taste it's coffee.
Caffeine, rush, and everything.
But behind that, there's a lot of it.
You have someone like him to explain
There
so that you
is.
can imagine the taste and actually taste it.
And that's why the reason why we are outside here, so you can actually speak and talk to our barista.
Personally.
And get to know what is the single origin that we're using, what Pinoy coffee that we're using,
Yeah.
what to compare with food and all that. Yeah.
You also have like the other part that, you know, we didn't really talk too much about was that you do roast your own beans.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you do this in Cavite. You're hands-on with it, self-taught even, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Eventually, I learned it from the masters academies provided by the company
Right.
before when I used to work
Right.
abroad. But yeah, I learned most of the time from my own experience and then try and error. Let's see
And
how
the
it goes.
passion
And
you
the
have for
passion
your
is also
coffee.
one of the important things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. So guys, if you are interested in visiting Apartment 1B or Jay's Way Coffee. You also have other branches, right? So this is just one of your branches, but
Yeah.
you also have in Manila Polo.
Right. So first branch we have in Manila Polo Club. They are in Forbes. And second one is in BDO Tower, Valero, Makati. This is our third. And then my roastery located at GMA Cavite. So, yeah.
So do you actually take guests in Cavite or you just roast
we
there?
roast.
Yeah, just
Sometimes
roast.
for a few people who wants to try our coffee.
Special people, I'm sure. Special people, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So guys, this has been so delicious. It really hasn't been anything that I have tried that I have not loved, that hasn't been comfort on a plate. And of course, packed with flavor and just all around deliciousness, from the cocktails to, of course, the coffee. I just have thoroughly enjoyed myself here. And I know Nino enjoys it here as well. So before we go, obviously, guys, I don't know if you've watched the show before, but we do this rapid fire where we get to like fire some questions out at you, and hopefully they don't stump you too long so that we can, don't worry, it's
Okay.
not, it's all
nice,
family friendly.
Okay.
So we can talk, of course, food-centric most of the time, obviously.
Okay.
So who shaped your relationship with food?
My mom.
Your mom.
Sorry, I didn't.
Who shaped your relationship with food?
Oh, parents.
Parents then. Favorite food as a kid?
My mom's spaghetti.
Your mom's. Hi, Mom. You can say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Favorite food as a kid?
Fried chicken.
Favorite cuisine as an adult?
Filipino.
Local.
Local.
Local
Love
cuisine.
local.
Yeah.
Love local. What color is your kitchen?
Anything bright?
Same, right? Yeah.
Favorite pastime that has nothing to do with food?
Playing guitar.
Ah.
Exercise.
What is your comfort food?
Anything that my wife will cook for me. It's
So when you go home, you don't have to cook most of
not
the
at all
time.
times. Most of the time.
What is your signature dish, chef? This one's for you.
Any pasta dish.
Pasta dish. Takeout, dine-in.
Dine-in.
Dine in, of course, for the experience.
Yeah.
Yes. Two foods that go together but don't go together.
Chef.
Ice cream and monai.
Ice cream.
And monai.
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 It's a
It's
bun?
like an ice cream sandwich. It's a bun. Any kitchen or dining accessory that you collect?
Kitchen knife. Chef's knife.
Okay. Favorite single origin?
Our local, Mount Apo. So far.
The first one that we had.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
You're on the sofa watching a movie. What's on your snack board?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Same.
Whiskey. Favorite food memory as a child?
It has always been my mom's spaghetti.
Spaghetti again. Mom, he loves your spaghetti. Savory or sweet?
Savory.
Pour over versus espresso.
Pour over.
Latte or cappuccino?
Latte.
Pizzetta or pasta?
Pizzetta.
Wine or cocktails?
Any.
Both. Adobo or sinigang?
Adobo.
Adobo.
Tapa or tocino?
Tapa. For me.
Well, that wraps this episode. We're here at Apartment 1B in Arya Plaza. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much.
So if
honored.
you guys want to follow, you can follow Apartment 1B on Instagram and also on Facebook. Of course, guys, thanks for tuning in and staying with us this Tuesday evening. As always, keep cooking, keep sharing, and keep safe.